My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's the Al Travis Show, and I don't know how lucky we are to Senator Putnam with us. I got a lot of buttons to push. And when you get online and you start asking me questions, we get talking, we almost missed this whole segment, and I'm blaming you for getting me distracted. Thanks for being here, sir.
That's my goal, really. Just get you distracted. So, Epstein.
Oh, Epstein, what?
I'm just trying to distract. I went there.
Well, yeah, I have visuals today. For those on the radio, you're not going to see this, but do you know what this is, sir? Do you know what this item is I hold in my hand?
That's either a chunk of brie or it's a doorstop.
It's a doorstop, my friend. Other people consider it the keys to the kingdom. This is all you need to get yourselves into the Capitol at any time, day or night. Do you see the story this morning on how that naked guy got in?
Well, first, I want to apologize for doing it. I promise I won't do it again.
You apologize to Champion.
Yeah.
Senator Champion, because here's the thing. We find out today, naked man was sitting on Champion's chair. I don't know if we need a law, but I believe the man deserves a new chair. That chair should be taken out back and burnt, and Champion deserves a new chair. I don't care the cost. If you need to send it to the Al Travis Show, I will pay. I like Bobby Joe. He dresses in nice clothes, and he doesn't need to sit in that man's non-covered butt chair. So can we get that done before you get back to the office?
Yeah, I think we're going to pass a bill that we're going to have to fumigate. I think there's going to have to be some major disinfection going on that in the Senate. And it's overdue, frankly. It's overdue. I'm glad this is the moment that made us realize that, I don't know. Yeah.
Putnam, as Senator, you've got to be mad. We just put, I don't know, $250 million into that place to buff it all up, make it look fantastic. I've said that if money spent, it was really good. And I don't do home security systems. You see them out there. But I'm under the impression, you tap the code in, and then if any of the doors open up, sirens go off. Not us. We have the I can beat your system with a piece of wood in the door jamb. Is that seriously what's protecting you guys from the loons?
We just, I hadn't realized this doorstop part of the story. This is the
came out today.
So
came out today.
Thanks for educating me, Al. Thanks for educating me.
Now let me give those stories. So this guy supposedly comes in, during the regular business day, goes to a door and puts in a piece of lumber. They see him with the lumber, then he puts it at the door, then he doesn't have the lumber. Comes back at like 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock, uses the secret door jam pass that he created, goes into the ladies' washroom, cleans up a bit. Leaves his clothes there, leaves the water running, little bit of water problems. The guy's not even a nice. And then once he comes out 40 minutes later, naked, heads to the Senate chamber, and seriously, we don't know what he's done there. We got that. So a couple of things. First off, getting in shouldn't be that easy, and I keep pointing at you with my door stopper because this is amazing to me. But his butt's bare naked, and he can get into the Senate chamber. Isn't there a second level of security to go into the Senate chamber? I remember being at the Capitol, and you're in the Capitol during the day, you still couldn't go in the Senate chamber.
I don't know what's going on here. I mean, first off, I think it's fascinating that dude planned a doorstop but not pants. That seems like an odd set of priorities.
He wore pants in. The guy wore pants in. He was just cleaning up a little bit in the ladies' washroom. And then as long as you're naked and you're all alone, you do your thing.
And in terms of my behavior from going forward, because I am a prudent politician in the future, I will have a spare set of pants.
Just hanging around.
In case anyone happens to be naked on the floor and they need some help.
See, you're joking, but you shouldn't. You guys got attacked 6-8 weeks ago. Yeah. Whatever it was. You guys got attacked. And here's my point. This guy's got issues. I mean, I don't care if Regent's Hospital says he doesn't have issues. The guy's naked, he took a shower in the ladies' washroom, and he thinks he's the governor. I don't know what your level of crazy has to be to actually get help, but evidently that's not it. But the guy who did the shooting and all the rest of this stuff 8 weeks ago, again, crazy. Looney is a loon. I'm not trying to say he's not, but that guy had the ability to plan. right? He planned this thing out. He ordered the pieces and the parts and the things he needed, the costumes. This knothead needed this, a floor jam, and he got in. If really bad people who weren't lunatics but wanted to do bad things planned anything, oh my God, what could they not get into? This should make you really scared, Putnam, and you don't seem scared. You're a man's man. I'd be like curled up in the corner saying, somebody protect me.
No, I mean the world's crazy already. Like this variety of crazy is something that we see, but just because he did it doesn't mean that there's not 20 other people at home who want to do it. And I would say I didn't realize he thought he was the governor. And I will say,
Yeah.
as a person with some knowledge, that only rarely does the governor strip naked and sit in the Senate floor. So I don't.
Well,
I don't
and
think
who
it's
was it?
like typical behavior that he's like, oh, this is how the governor acts. Well, no.
Curran yesterday said that it had to have been a representative because they didn't have a tie.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a pretty good joke.
I don't know why we haven't seen more memes yet. Because you know that whole couple that were at Coldplay and that thing hit the world? How do you not have a meme of naked guy sitting in champion seat with his bare bottom? I don't know how we don't see more memes.
That's a good joke, Mark. Well done.
And it's a little surprising from him. I mean, I like him a ton, but I don't see him with. I haven't seen him that side of him yet, and that was a very good one indeed. So you're going to be okay. What do we do about this? And then the other thing we learned was that there's evidently a foursome. I don't know if it's four. There's a group that's supposed to get together 4 times a year to discuss the Capitol security. It's the lieutenant governor, some people from the Senate, the House. Everybody's got a job, but they haven't been getting together as often as the law would ask. I'm sitting here thinking if it was me in 2019, from fall to spring, what changed? I can see why you would start falling off, but this is driving me nuts, sir. That a door wedge gets you into the Capitol.
No,
It's just got to be harder.
For like an almost serious answer for you, there's just too many damn doors. Like that's the issue. Is there's too many ways to get into the building. Because life is dangerous. That and the other thing doesn't move me much one way or the other. But just in terms of general security of the building, there's so many doors to get in. Like that I think that's the key issue.
Okay, and again, I don't know if we have folks wandering around overnight. I don't know if there's like private guardian. I don't have any idea. But when you close the doors, and I don't know whose job it is, do we not pay a guy to roam every door, go by everyone, do the check, and make sure it's closed every night? I mean, it just seems almost too simple.
I bet they're doing it now. But again, like the little doors,
Now thank you. Yeah, that's my point, is we make it so, goodness. And then I would have thought it would have been one of those home help, type your number in, and all the doors, if they're not closed, it'll pop up and say, hey, these aren't. I don't know. We've got to do something better for you guys. I'm sorry.
No, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, we do have key card access to different places, but I think the key issue for external entry into the building as a whole is there's just too many doors that work all the time.
See, you don't need key card entry. You need this. You don't need a keyed card. That's the problem. I thought keyed card made sense. You don't. You need a door stop.
He got to the bathroom to the Senate floor, because the Senate floor you need a key card. So I don't know how he got from.
We haven't heard all this yet. We haven't. But I'll tell you, I want to see the meme of Bobby Joe Champion, just Cloroxing his chair.
Maybe I'm a jerk. I think it's kind of funny. Like it doesn't scare me at all. Like it's.
Yeah, you're a jerk because your friends who've been through what you guys have been through in the last 8 weeks. This should make you mad as AG double toothpicks.
Yeah, but we're kind of always at risk. Like that's the thing. Like just because.
So make it harder, Putnam. That's the point. The knothead who did the shooting off his rocker, but could make plans. This guy just roaming the streets figured out how to bust into security and then get into your chamber. What about the really bad dude who isn't a nut job?
Well, no, I'm with you on that one, and I should be clear. Like I'm not anti-security. I'm not one to get kind of wound up, as you probably can tell.
Oh, I do. I'm the one who does. That's me. We're going to go to break. When we come back, special elections everywhere. Everyone is like an Oprah Winfrey. You got a special election. You got a special election. We'll talk about the elections coming up right after this.
Dust from gravel roads and driveways does more than make your car dirty inside and out. It gets down into your lungs, and it's bad for your health. Now there's an environmentally friendly solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control all your summer dust problems with just one application. Protect your vehicle and your lungs. Learn more at dustlock.com.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is a guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 525-1052, 525-1052.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
We do have an update as far as what we're talking about here. Minnesota, according to CCO, Minnesota Senate President Bobby Joe Champion says he supports the idea of pursuing different security options at the state capitol complex, and also that plastic furniture lining they used to have in the 70s on your couches, he'd like. Well, I think I threw that in. That was a ... The other thing I want to ask you just quick on that. Minnesota State Patrol Chief Christina Bojovic, the State Patrol is finalizing a contract with a third-party organization to review Minnesota State Capitol security procedures. Does that admit you just don't know what you're doing? This is the State Patrol. You do this. You've been doing this since, we built the Capitol. You just admitted that a guy stopped you with a doorstop and maybe you need help? And should we be paying for that? We gotta.
Well, so I think the first thing is that, given the average age in the Senate, that plastic on the furniture would act like totally trapped. So I think that's a go.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That was wrong in so many ways. I like that. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for. But, I think there's a couple things going on here. One is that sometimes you need someone else to take a look at you because you can't get a perspective on yourself. And the other part is just a sense of credibility. So if we were just to look at our own stuff, one, we'd probably miss some stuff because we are us. And then two, it helps to have an outside perspective on doorstops and their danger.
I guess when we spent the $250 million or whatever, I would have thought we brought in some consultants. We looked at the Iowa Capitol. You know what they can't get by with? A doorstop. We fixed that problem. This can't, anyway, maybe others are going to look at it and figure it out. Things we figured out, a couple things. The Hortman special election is coming up on the 16th of September. I don't know where I got lost in that. I just found that today. But the special election for Senator Mitchell and for Bruce Anderson, Senator Anderson's spot, that will be coming up on November 4th. So that will be, as I understand it, the 5th and 6th special election in 2025. 2025 is, you are being a part of history, Putnam, like no one before. I've never seen anything like this.
It's pretty weird. I think we need to stop calling them special. And we should just call them elections because they're everywhere. The other thing that's messed up is that two of the folks vying for Senator Mitchell's seat are both members of the House. So if Ethan or Amanda win, then there's another special election to replace them, and that's going to be. And
the Fatah Senate seat should be open if he wins the mayoral race as well. So we're now talking 3 more, 9 special elections, or 8 special elections in 1 year. This is crazy. I think the most we ever had was 2.
Yeah, it's nuts, and it's part of it's the job, part of it's the moment. But I think I'm also hearing a lot about potential retirements, people who don't want to run again for the 4-year term coming up. So like there's going to be a lot of.
Well, you say retiring, but after this term is over, they're not going to retire early.
Yeah,
okay,
after this term is over, so it adds to the kind of general sense of like, well, who's here? What's going on? I'm
under the impression the Bruce Anderson seat is pretty locked in as a Republican seat. I think it's a plus 30 or something like that. He's had it a long time, so things change, but that seems pretty safe. Now, I say the same thing. The Mitchell seat was a plus 17 for the Dems. Your thoughts on this? Because I presume the drag of the last 15 months of, lawsuits and all the rest has to drag that number down a bit. And I presume with the entire Senate hinging on this is going to be a full court press from both sides, right? you guys aren't going to take this for granted. They've
I
asked you to come knock doors already, haven't they? I know they have. They
No,
like
you know what I'd say is that I think the seats are equivalent in lots of different ways. So there is we know historically there's a headwind for the president's party in the
Yep.
biennium. So, that might atrophy a little bit the Anderson lead.
Okay.
Nicole's behavior might do the same in her district, but they're both still safe. So like
Okay.
the idea of the body changing, I don't think is super, super likely. But I think both parties are still going to spend some money on it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they're going to spend as much as they have in other. I mean, a couple years ago, you might remember this when there was a special election in my neighborhood in Senate District 13,
Mhm.
and that was the one for control, and that district was deemed a little bit closer, and the tons of resources and the people out here working on that one. I don't think we're going to see that kind of like full bore commitment and investment, but there's still going to be lots of work because you're supposed to do the work.
Well, you're supposed to, but then in the special election business, 9,000 people will decide the future of Minnesota. I mean, the difference between that's how many will show up at a special election. This one will be interesting. I disagree, and I think this one will be spent hugely. I think it makes that big a difference. I think people have seen what this tied up thing is all about, and we're going to have to figure something out, one way or the other. And I think people are going to put their money behind it to figure that out. We will see. The last thing I had for you today was, of course, our 11 rapid fire questions.
Right.
Your favorite year in school. This will be different for you because you're a professor and been doing it for the last 30 years. So you've got a lot of years in school. What's your favorite year in school?
But that I experienced, like what was my favorite year as a student, or
I don't know. That's the question. This is like a Brookshire test. I'm just finding out what comes to mind first.
Well, as a kid, I thought kindergarten was pretty cool. That was a good time. Kindergarten was a pretty fun time when I was a kid. But I don't know. Like when I think of my kids going to school, or when I think of like anyone in general going to school, I can tell you the one bad year is being anything in middle school.
Oh,
That's 6, 7, 8. I think everyone who's that age should just be buried in a cave, and then you like open up the cave at the end of that period, and they can emerge as a human being. Because during that time, you're not a human. So just like put them in a box or a cave somewhere, lock it up.
I like that idea.
Come out, and then they can be a person again. Because that was not a great time.
I like that thought quite a little bit. Kindergarten. My only thing when you mentioned kindergarten, I remember first day of kindergarten. My mother drops me off because she had to go back and get Dad breakfast, and she said when they say K, you go to the K room when they say K, and I'm K. I'm just sitting there the whole time, and then somebody comes out J. Uh-oh, panic. Was it J or was it K? And so I went to the wrong classroom. And I remember my first day of school, I was sitting in the wrong classroom. They go through the whole list. Never called my name. Anyone not have their name called? And I'm like, yeah. You idiot, you're in K. My very first thing in kindergarten was I couldn't remember. I panicked. And it was a B. Was it C? Oh, I was horrible. Got to go. Love having you on, my friend. We'll see you again in a week.
All right, great to see you. Take care,
Senator Aric Putnam on the Al Travis Show.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together